Hey guys, Ken here from the Retro Toy Escapades channel in Malaysia. The loyal subjects have shared some brand new official promotional images of the incoming M.A.S.K Rhino unit, and I'm going to be talking about them today in today's video, along with comparisons to the 1985 original from Kenner Toys. So stick around, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and let's get into it. Guys, out of all of the images we've seen of the new 40th anniversary M.A.S.K vehicles from the loyal subjects, the Rhino seems to be the one with the least amount of changes from the original. But let's check out the breakdown they've provided in their official vehicle write-up online, and let's find out just what exactly this new unit promises to do. By the way, while the new release looks cosmetically similar to the 85 original, there is one change. Okay, perhaps this one is pretty significant because apparently this thing is no longer being called the Rhino, similar to how the Switchblade is no longer being called that, but instead it's being called the high-tech helicopter. The Rhino is now, for whatever reasons, being called the Mobile Defense Unit, which basically explains what it is, okay? The function of the vehicle has become its name, apparently. Also, the words Mobile Defense Unit did turn up in print on the packaging box for the 1985 original toy, so I guess you could say that the name Mobile Defense Unit is authentic. Also, before that, I wanted to mention something that I noticed. Now, the original Rhino is of course soaked with shiny die-cast paint all over, from the top to the bottom, all along the sides, all across the tire rims, and going all the way to the back with the cockpit cover on the Mini ATV. Okay, this thing is just drenched in chrome paint. However, based on initial reports, the new vehicles will not come with any die-cast or chrome paint, but will feature something of a reflective silver paint perhaps, okay, something like that. Well, whatever it is that's on this truck, based on these images, it sure does appear to shine just like chrome, okay? What do you guys think? So I can't wait to see what the final product is going to look like in hand. Now, let's get down to the specs here. Matt Tracker and the wise Bruce Sato gear up in the Ultra Flash and Lifter mask to take down Miles and the team. Now, we get the same classic theme from the original, but as showcased previously, the new updated figures for 2025 will have new sculpted faces and bodies and increased articulation. And in the case of Bruce, it seems like they made him taller. Now, the MDU is the first and last line of defense for the M.A.S.K team and is chock full of awesome features. Converts from covert big rig mode to an action-packed mobile defense headquarters. Or should that be a mobile defense unit? Okay, it's got realistic rubber tires. Now, I always prefer rubber tires on toy vehicles, and thankfully, they've retained this thing from the original, but with one key difference. The originals were officially licensed by Goodyear, which I never realized was a pretty big deal back then, and a great piece of added detail for collectors. Okay, now it says here that it's got upgraded details, such as improved sculpting detail on the side mirrors, the fuel canisters on the front, and foot pegs on the steps up to the cockpit. Okay, so all of that stuff sounds really great, but at the same time, I'm not really sure if everyone's going to get really excited over it at the same time. Okay, because if you've owned the original Rhino, well, first of all, you will notice that the side mirrors are attached to the vehicle with very fragile and breakable pegs. Okay, these can snap easily, and probably on the new unit, they secured them a lot better. Okay, so that's great. And then we have the fuel canisters. I take it that all of these are large fuel storage cans, all right? Not really a huge issue with them coming off on the original though, but if they want to make these things sturdier, why not? Okay, and then finally, they're adding foot pegs on the steps. Okay, so you can now pose the figures as though they are climbing up into the rig. Not a bad addition to the set, okay, but again, nothing much to really get excited over, I think. Okay, then it says here, pull open the rear of the crew cab to reveal a detailed interior with a computer sentry terminal and access ramp. Okay, so this is the very cool reveal of the hidden headquarters section of the vehicle. Even as a kid, I found it amazing how they secreted this whole compartment back there, alright? Now, sadly, most of the details at the computer monitor and the terminal are only just stickers, but they do look effective. And I always got excited at the fact that there was just an excuse here for the word M.A.S.K to be displayed. Okay, this thing's awesome. Now, this is also where you find the large missile. And speaking of which, launch the powerful Mega Mortar when the MDU is fully converted at the touch of a button with a powerful spring-loaded action. Now, the Rhino typically comes with a giant black missile, but for this video, I'm pulling out a rarer variant, which is the white missile version that was released in the UK back in the day. Of course, this thing has seen better days, okay? Come on. The original white paint has turned brown, but you can see details here, like where it says TV Sat, okay? I don't know what that means, okay? TV satellite, TV on a Saturday. Okay, someone in the comments probably knows what the story here is, so fire away, guys. But this is an official variant from Kenner and not a custom or anything like that. And I always like this missile firing feature, but it is frustrating that it only fires upwards. So you can't really aim it straight at the enemy, only at something that's passing overhead. Unless, you tilt the vehicle over. Now it says here, for high-speed surveillance, the MDU's 4x4 Recon rover can be deployed and seats one M.A.S.K agent. Rumble over rough terrain with cool independent axle movement. Okay, so just like the original, you know that the back section splits apart, right? And you get this mobile ATV that can just roll along solo. Now this thing is pretty cool. It's like two vehicles in one, definitely. Comfortably seats two M.A.S.K agents in the driver's seat for the long haul, with room for lots more in the mobile headquarters mode. Well, I don't really know about the lots more bit, okay? You can get maybe 4 or 5 agents in there maximum. Standing room only, without being able to raise the arms too much. Okay, now this is the bit here that's really exciting and possibly hints at an all-new action feature. Okay, because it says here, dual action switches in the big rig release the pop-out gunner jump seat. Okay, now this is the one thing that I've been waiting for confirmation on since the first promo images of this new MDU, aka Rhino, came out. They talked about this thing having all of the classic features of the original, but they did not mention anything about the ejection seat. Okay, so the Rhino always came with this ejection seat, the one that pops out from the right side of the vehicle. So if you get an enemy agent boarding the Rhino, you can just toss him the hell out, okay? Just like that. Pretty cool, right? Okay, or even if Matt finds himself sick of Bruce's bullshit, he can just toss him straight out into the street. And I know what you must be thinking. Does this ejection seat work if the door is closed? Well, let's find out. Ouch. That's got to hurt. Now look, it seems like this ejection seat is possibly being reworked as a gunner seat of some kind. So maybe it's like a seat that pops out and it's got weapons there for the agent to shoot at enemy invaders. Okay, something like what Hasbro did for their Ghostbusters Afterlife Actor 1 vehicle. Could we be looking at something like that? Definitely very cool. Or maybe it's just going to be a situation where it's the same ejection seat, but it's just that the agent is now positioned out of the vehicle so that you can just fire better at the enemy. I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. But what do you guys think? Okay, lastly, it says here, release the spring-loaded front grille to knock out the bad guys. All right. Now, this is the all-time best feature of the Rhino for me personally. I don't think there's ever been another toy truck that comes with a front grille that's also a battering ram. Okay, this thing is just insanely fun, right? And I'm expecting the new battering ram on the 2025 Rhino to operate with the same maximum ferocity. Guys, let me know your thoughts on all of these new images they're showing us of the Rhino, also known as the Mobile Defense Unit. Hit me up in the comments below, and I'll catch you guys again real soon. Take care out there.